Ferrari arrives in Jeddah away from the spotlight. In Formula One, it is always wise to do so, since big statements are often not followed through, especially when it comes to the Prancing Horse. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix features a tough track and, at this particular moment of the 2025 Formula One season, aside from the layout, it is still difficult to understand whether or not it might favor the red car. In theory, the fast and flowing layout and the nature of the track surface offer characteristics that could suit the Ferrari SF-25 particularly well, but it may be better to let the track do the talking. At the 5.412-kilometer Bahrain International Circuit in Sakhir, the first of the two SF-25 cars finished in fourth place, exactly like in Japan, while Lewis Hamilton managed a comeback to finish just behind his Maranello teammate. If we analyze the context in detail, we can see that in the second stint the Italian cars were strong, all true. But there was a significant tire compound advantage that, once gone, revealed something else entirely. Ferrari was no longer faster than the McLaren MCL39 cars, and George Russell, who, on soft tires, was able to keep an excellent pace without ever being troubled by Charles Leclerc. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton stayed ahead of another Mercedes, Kimi Antonelli's, who finished 11th, and Max Verstappen's Red Bull RB21, which struggled badly with the tires and could not show the true pace it had displayed in Suzuka. The rest of the cars behind the Briton were not exactly lightning fast. We are talking Alpine, Haas, Williams, Racing Bulls, Aston Martin, and Sauber. All teams that, regardless of the events, should be behind Ferrari. Adding such a major component as the floor to the car is never easy. It needs to be analyzed, understood, and made to work as best as possible. However, saying there was a step forward in terms of lap time seems like an overstatement, especially considering Lewis Hamilton's enthusiasm on Thursday, when the Briton was excited about an upgrade that was supposed to fix all problems, which, if you just watch the onboard footage from the first free practice session on Friday, up to the race on Sunday, were still largely present in most sessions. We are not against Ferrari, but at the same time we can't ignore the similar behavior and the gap in overall race pace. Ferrari team principal Frédéric Vasseur says a small step forward was made. Without a doubt, he knows more than we do, especially after carefully analyzing all the data collected in Bahrain. He spoke of a small step in competitiveness which, we repeat, does not seem so evident to us. In Charles Leclerc's qualifying lap, the Monegasque outdid himself. He drove beyond the car's limits, but even in that lap, corrections were still needed. Lewis Hamilton was even worse, with performance going unexpressed. As for the race, as we have already said, on mediums, with the advantage of fresher tires, the pace was good, but the moment that extra grip was gone, Mercedes and McLaren on older tires were faster, not to mention the hards where the performance was poor. Nevertheless, we want to trust Frédéric Vasseur. It wouldn't be wise for him, despite the low profile, to claim something that did not exist. Therefore, would be happy to see this small step, or who knows, maybe a bigger one, materialize in just a few days at the Jeddah circuit. All of this if we are talking about pure performance. If instead it is about optimizing the result, fine, but that's another matter. At this point, Ferrari cannot just maximize. If that's the goal, you don't even get on the podium. The goal is something else, right? Focusing on themselves? Excellent. Extracting the maximum from the car? Very good. But to close the gap, updates that make a difference are needed. A clear one. Let's hope that in Saudi Arabia, that's the case, because maybe the new floor works much better after having studied it on track. In short, we are eagerly awaiting this upward leap from the red car. According to Italian media, the Ferrari technicians and engineers have significantly widened the SF-25 car's operating window, largely thanks to the new floor, which has been designed to increase aerodynamic load and is capable of working effectively even with low ride heights. An estimated 30% improvement in the car's operational efficiency compared to the previous Bahrain race has been reported. In addition, the Maranello team is said to have focused on achieving better mechanical traction, experimenting with various rear suspension configurations. This analysis appears to be based on data available to Ferrari's engineers, who concluded that the car's operating window in Bahrain was significantly wider, almost double compared to Suzuka just a week earlier. It is undeniable that the new floor introduced in Sakhir had a positive impact, allowing for more consistent performance across a broader range of conditions, not just with low fuel. This Sunday's race in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, takes place on an extremely fast street circuit, characterized by a series of rapid direction changes and a smooth, low-abrasion surface, completely the opposite of Bahrain. Tire degradation is expected to be very low, to the point that Pirelli has selected its softest compound combination, C3, C4, C5. This could be the ideal scenario for a further expansion of Ferrari's performance window. According to some reports, the gain could reach around 30% compared to Bahrain. The SF-25 will run a low-downforce aerodynamic configuration, with minimal wing incidence and, above all, reduced ride height, fully exploiting the ground effect aerodynamic load. As a result, Ferrari could mitigate the floor performance losses seen in previous races. Furthermore, the Jeddah circuit should suit the DNA of the 2025 car, which is designed for fast corners. Particular attention during simulator sessions for this GP was given to improving the car's mechanical traction, testing numerous dynamic setup combinations for the suspension. Ferrari's shortcomings in this early part of the season are indeed tied to the interaction between aerodynamics and chassis, so the direction taken in Bahrain seems to be the right one. Meanwhile, the Maranello engineers and technicians are working on the next upgrades, some of which are expected as early as Miami. Will we finally see Ferrari on the attack? For now, as previously stated, the layout of the Jeddah track should also be an ally for the Ferrari SF-25 single-seater this weekend. Jeddah is the fastest street circuit on the Formula One calendar, with an average speed exceeding 250 kilometers per hour. The asphalt is smooth and not very abrasive, and the near-total absence of bumps allows for stiffer setups and lower ride heights. The track also requires a car that is stable at the front and very precise in high-speed direction changes, especially in the first sector, characterized by a sequence of fast corners. Cars that excel in lateral grip and aerodynamic efficiency will have the upper hand, particularly in tackling the long straights and 3 drag reduction system zones. So far, Ferrari has proven solid in fast corners, but has struggled in low-speed sections, a type of corner that is rare in Jeddah. Moreover, the SF-25 single-seater has shown excellent efficiency on straights, something it can take advantage of. The smooth track surface will also allow it to run with a lower ride height, a condition that benefits the car, since it is a well-known fact that the Italian side suffers when forced to run higher. For the upcoming race weekend in Saudi Arabia, Ferrari is also expected to introduce a new medium-low downforce rear wing, designed to make the most of the long, high-speed sections and the 3 DRS zones. Jeddah, therefore, should indeed suit Ferrari a lot better than the Bahrain International Circuit did, and the Maranello team desperately needs to rediscover the performance that has been lacking so far in the start of the 2025 Formula One Championship.